work on your energies before you even think about getting or conceiving another energy into your body. Otherwise, both the energies are going to clash. This just can't happen casually. This can only happen when your fire is balanced in your chart.
Expressing your emotions doesn't make you weak, it makes you strong.
Get a chance, I would want you all to please make another pod just concentrating on the age of puberty.
What are some early signs that a child's emotions or energy might be imbalanced?
Just as soon as you come of age, the family or the society longs to see you married.
What made you realize that children's emotional growth begins even before birth?
What is the aura of the child?
Welcome back to Trust Your Journey 1.0, the podcast where we explore wisdom, wellness, and the deeper purpose behind our life stories. Today's episode is a special one because we are diving into the most sacred journey of all, parenthood. Our guest, Shravasti Sanyal, is not just an emotional intelligence and communication expert, she is also an astro healer, positive psychology practitioner, and a believer in the power of ancient sciences and astrology to help parents truly understand their children's emotional, mental, and energetic blueprint. Through her work, she helps parents of children below 14 identify their child's strengths, challenges, and developmental needs long before problems arise, using insights from both modern psychology and ancient Vedic wisdom. Her message is profound yet simple. If we understand energy before emotion and emotion before actions, we can raise an entire generation of balanced and self aware souls. Shravasti ji, welcome to Trust Your Journey 1.0. I'm so glad we are having this conversation today, one that every parent needs to hear.
Thank you. Thank you, Avinash, for having me today. I just hope that this podcast is going to go places and will help parents and children, make a better life. Thank you.
I'm sure, Shravasti ji, this would gonna happen basis the flow of the podcast. So my first question to you, Shravasti ji, you blend modern psychology with ancient energy science. Can you share how this unique integration came into your life and what made you realize that children's emotional growth begins even before birth?
Oh, to be very frank, Avinash, just if I have to give this answer, it will take the whole podcast. It itself is a big subject of discussion, but if I have to put it in short, it would be something like this, that even before, you put a seed in a soil, you have to check whether the soil is ready, whether the soil has the quality of, rearing the seed that has been planted in it. If it is not, then the soil first has to work. We need to work on the soil, get the soil ready. Only after that you plant the seed, so the seed does not go waste. Because even if you, even if the plant comes up, it might be weak or may not bear good fruit. So it's very similar when it comes to parenting. We take parenting very lightly. It is like our society sadly is just as soon as you come of age, the family or the society longs to see you married. Even if you are not mentally prepared, physically prepared, you are expected to, and it is so well reared throughout the journey of the person that the person also knows, oh, I have to get married. Oh, what will the people say? What will my friends are getting married, my cousins have got married, I'm not getting married, so marriage becomes some kind of a pressure on you. So okay, fine, you can still get married. Till there it is okay. The problem arises when the next level comes, when you have your society asking you, when are you going to have a baby?
True, true.
And maybe the soil isn't ready. Maybe the soil has gone through past life trauma, They have gone through, they are bearing a lot of scars which needs to be healed. Only then you can think of conception. Because
Mm.
anything and everything that the mother is experiencing, the baby that is growing inside is experiencing it too. We think it's not, but it is. Whatever she is seeing, how it is impacting her, whether consciously or subconsciously, it is impacting the baby inside the belly.
Yeah.
Whatever she is eating, who she is surrounded by, what is she listening to, what is she reading, what is she thinking, how much is she sleeping, and much more. Is she physically doing fine? Is she mentally doing fine? Unless that happens, anything and everything that she is going through, the baby is going through.
Wow.
So we need to be very careful. So that's the reason there are a variety of sanskars. Sanskar, I think you should look it up because again, it'll take a lot of time to explain sanskar to you. But there are, jaise, in Hindi, we call it sola sanskar, you know. So there are many sanskars that is done from the birth of the baby till even before the birth, when the mother, when the baby is in the womb or not in the womb, the sanskar starts. These are kind of spiritual practices to ready the aura to receive the new, atma inside the body and then nurture it inside the body so that it is born healthy, happy, and ready to, take things. Take things. There are many things that is going to come. The child inside the mother should be resilient to take what is going to come. So physically, mentally, emotionally, the story starts as soon as the baby is conceived.
Yeah.
So we can, keep this, and one day we can talk just on this point, and I can give a lot of pointers to the parents, what they can do and how they can go about, working on the womb sanskar. That is something we can come across later, maybe, or maybe later in the podcast. Sometimes I might just bring this point also, depending on the type of questions that you ask me.
I'm sure, Shravasti ji, things which you mentioned out here, that it's all the soil preparation has to be there first before the seeding. And that point must be resonated with all the audience out there because everything has got an environment to
Correct.
build it, to grow it, and everything. And the
Right.
child is built in that environment only. So I'm sure this point is resonated, gets resonated, and if it's resonated, audience, mention in the comments that if this get resonated with you. This leads to me to my another question, Shravasti ji, because you often mention that astrology isn't about predicting a child's future. It's
Ah,
about understanding their energy patterns. And how can parents use this cosmic blueprint to nurture their child's individuality and emotional well being? Because everybody knows everything, but still they don't know anything. It's like that.
it is better you come empty
Yeah.
instead of, come as a full cup and then you want solutions. First thing first,
Yeah.
astrology is something so negatively brought forward
True.
in today's world. And we really don't blame the people who do not approve astrology because there has been such a raw and wrong way of predicting astrology by so many astrologers today who hardly know the subject. If I tell you one life, I think we will need to come life after life to become a good astrologer someday.
True.
It is something very, 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 very complex. It is a parashastra. It is something which is godly, which is divine, which is something that the cosmic science is very difficult. We are long behind to understand this subject. So there is nothing to explain here. But yes, I will bring small things. It will become easy.
Yeah.
Uh, can I please have your question once more? What was it?
Yeah. So the cosmic blueprint of a child, how can parents use this
Ah,
cosmic
yes.
blueprint to nurture their child's individuality and emotional
Correct,
and spiritual
correct,
well-being.
correct, got it, good. So see, natal chart, a chart that the baby is born with. Okay, the
Mhm.
time the baby is born with. At that moment, whatever is the celestial position of all the planets and the stars up there is how the natal chart is made. And in that natal chart, what we need to see firstly is that what is the aura of the child? The child has come with some karma. The philosophy of karma needs to be understood. The whole world today is talking about it.
Yeah.
India, the ones who are the pioneer of astrology, they are at the back seat, and the rest of the world is just coming, understanding the subject and taking as much as it is possible. So I would say, please do not deroot from the subject, understand what it is here. So in a natal chart, when you see the chart, there are many things you can see. Firstly, looking at the chart itself, if you give it to any good astrologer, the astrologer means suppose you want to know, I want to know about you. I just open your chart, and if I don't even know you, with the chart, I can tell what kind of a person this person is. In that kind, what will come, how is the health of the person, what kind of subject that the person deals in, okay? And whether the person has financial strength, physical strength, and mental strength, and much more. But I'm just giving you small things. So at this moment, when we see a natal chart and we see, okay, this child might go through some kind of physical trauma. So if you know it right in the beginning, what you do is you start strengthening the child. Now you might ask, if it is written in the chart, then how can we change it? So there is something called the free will of the native.
Okay.
Beyond the chart, there is something called the free will of the native. There are few things that can't be changed in a chart, but the rest can be changed to extreme level of self-belief, resilience, and positive energy that the child can hold inside of himself or herself. So if you start training the child from a very young age, then the child will know to recover from any kind of physical trauma. Similarly, if you see in a chart that this child is going to be highly artistic, extremely artistic, it is an art-driven chart. Unfortunately, nowadays what you see is that the only thought that a parent has, that my child needs to earn well. My child needs to be settled well. And for that, the child must take science in the beginning. Okay, after that, when that person cannot do well in science, then we'll look for commerce. And finally, we'll look for art. But they don't understand that the three are three individual stems standing, each good enough to take care of itself very, very well. So if you see in the chart, and if you tell the parent, start working on the skills that the baby is born with. If
Wow.
it is art, give the child maximum scope to learn art. If
Wow.
the child is very, very technical, you will find when you have some combination, which will this child is going to have extreme technical skills. Okay, the mother might be a dancer, my father might be a pianist, and would say, oh, I want my child to learn piano. Oh, no, it's not going to work that way. That child might prefer going and fixing a machine.
True.
But you can see it through a natal chart. And I would say, take guidance of that chart. The child will do well in his or her life. That is important. Similarly, if you find that in a chart that this child is going to go through a lot of chaos related to relationship. So initial stage, if you start working on exposing the child to beautiful relationship and teaching the child empathy and emotional intelligence, the child will learn better how to deal with any kind of relationship crisis. These are common things. So there are a variety of such things which you can see in the blueprint.
In the
And
natal chart itself.
yes, in the
Okay.
natal chart. And now there is a question that might come that what is the natal chart? So natal chart, with the child is born with that chart, and you will see that there are many other charts. One very common chart that people talk about, you will know, that is Navamsha. So
Okay.
Navamsha is something that will start getting activated only after the child might have started becoming a little independent. We take it between 21 to 25 age. So I'm not going that side at this moment. So the first chart where the baby is born with, that is a
Hmm.
chart that has a lot of parental influence. A parent can guide through that chart because the child is completely under the submission of the parent. So that is something that charts can do, and charts can do much more. Now the question is whether you are being able to reach out to the right kind of astrologer.
Yeah.
So that's a
Yeah.
$1 million question. You need to reach out to an astrologer after a lot of study. Just don't go, isne refer kar diya, this astrologer is very good, go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thankfully, today, in today's date, we have Google. We have something called reviews. Yeah. You should actually study, read about this astrologer, go see what the world says about this astrologer before you're sure. Because there are many astrologers who are very, very good, but you don't know who is a good natal astrologer.
True.
Every
True.
every astrologer has a skill. And maybe that is again some kind of a universal blessing. That if I am good with natal astrology, maybe I have come with that blessing.
Oh.
Somebody might be very good at predicting uh, what do I call celestial situation. That's why they are called geo-astrologers. Okay, yeah, or maybe you can have political astrologers. So they have come with that. They know how to predict that part. Every prediction of one astrologer, very rare, very, very rare. These are very godly subjects. Not everybody
Yeah.
has caliber of giving you the pinpoint answer. But yes, there are great astrologers too in India. We just have to charge your energies enough to attract those astrologers to your side. We can talk about that later.
A- And I'm sure after looking at you, people who are hearing this audience, parents, any children as well who are listening to this podcast, everything begins since inception. That's what Shravasti ji is mentioning, that it's there in your natal chart. Just get that, find out. Shravasti ji is there. If you are not able to find any good astrologer, you can reach out to her as well. Shravasti ji, third, we'll share the details of Shravasti ji at a later part of the podcast. But Shravasti ji, this leads to me to another question of mine, because in today's fast-paced digital age, children are more stimulated than ever, but emotionally misunderstood always.
Hmm.
Because parents are busy in their lives and children are busy in their lives. What are some early signs that a child's emotions or energy might be imbalanced? And how can parents respond mindfully to that?
Okay. So every child is an individual and they will have a variety of combination. So there are a few things. Now I'll take a little bit of psychology into it and talk about it.
Yeah.
Anything, mother's sixth sense is very strong. Now, this I'm addressing to the mother especially, that if the mother is too occupied, it will be very difficult to activate her sixth sense towards her children. Now, that occupation can be anything. Too busy at home, too busy at office, herself not doing well mentally or
Yeah.
physically, and many more. Okay. In such cases, her intuition somewhere loses its effect. But the mother's intuition is the strongest in the living beings. What she can feel, I don't think anybody else can feel. So That's my address to the parents, that the mother especially, that you should be very observant about your child's movement. From the time the child is born, you will go through a lot of things. You might go through postpartum depression. You might go through some kind of a dislike towards the child at a certain point, when you are not sleeping for hours and so on and so forth. But get a little kind towards the baby whom you have brought into the world, and the baby has no control over himself or herself. So from there onwards, till where the child will go, the whole path, you are the torchbearer. And you being the torchbearer, if you don't focus on the baby, then it is going to become very, unkind towards the child, unfair. So that is one thing before I give you the answer. Now, there are many things that you will notice. Primarily, the physical part of it, sleeping pattern, a very, very disturbed sleeping pattern. Too much of sleep, no sleep at all, extremely cranky. And then eating pattern. Either continuously putting something in the mouth, either not eating at all. There can be variety. I'm just giving you one or two. There can be so many permutation and combinations of these things. Okay.
True.
Then there can be fear from other people, withdrawal from other people. It can be withdrawal from anybody. Be very focused, very, very sure that, this child is safe. Otherwise, also they tend to get, a little uncomfortable. So when the child is getting uncomfortable, a mother will understand. Now, one more thing that you will notice is that if the child has an elder child, and this child is growing up now, and the elder child might be this calm, quiet, nice. So what happens is that, and the younger one is the naughty one, or vice versa, whatever. In both the cases, if the parent is ridiculing one in front of the other or continuously comparing, the resilience of the child starts slowing down. I was just, I'd been to meet somebody today, and we were just discussing this point that, it is just like, if you're continuously telling your child, look at your brother, he did so well and you can't do it, tere se kuch nahi hoga, you will not be able to do anything. You are a loser or whatever. And if it is coming from the mother or from the father, believe me, it is just like, wo kehte na patthar ki lakeer, it is written and is not going to be erased from the child's mind. It will be impossible. So when such things happen, the child starts changing its behavior, and it will start showing low motivation level, not like to do anything, becomes a rebel at time, will start, and eventually many things can happen. The child might, stop scoring, stop studying, make bad friends, eventually go and start having, substance abuse or any other thing, sexual abuse. They can become abusers. Yeah. So we have to be very careful of how the child is behaving. If the child is shutting the door before teenage, then there is something to worry. During teenage, it's a different story altogether. That itself is something that if ever I get a chance, I would want you all to please make another pod just concentrating on the age of puberty, starting from might be somewhere around 11, 12, and going all the way to 19, 20. This is a very, very critical age, but it is also a part of the natal. So I focus a lot on this part. My major focus is always on teenage, because this is the time when the child is getting prepared. Everything is, she's preparing or he's preparing for the world.
Yeah.
And what is he preparing with? With what material he has collected in the last 12, 13 years. So whatever ingredients that the person has collected from the time of birth till the teenage is what the child is going to start cooking for the coming 10 years to become what that person will become by the time she or he is 23.
True. True.
So we have to be very careful what you're feeding. Anything, everything you're feeding, it is going into the subconscious. As soon as it is going into the subconscious, it is going to stay there for life now. It's going nowhere. As soon as you start repeating, there is a science, we all know that if you have to remember something, you keep repeating it.
Yeah.
Because we don't remember it, our subconscious remembers it.
True.
And when you're repeating continuously, you are bad, you're not being able to do anything, you're good for nothing, or whatever, somebody is better than you. This gets imprinted and will stay for life. Tomorrow, when you will not be there, you will not even leave your child with a crutch. So that is something that we need to focus on more.
Shravasti ji, these insights are like eye-opening for me as well because I was a strong non-believer of astrology. I'll be honest about it. Because of one single fact, I just believe that life is all about taking actions.
Correct.
But as soon as I got entered into this field of coaching and all the consulting world, I realized one deep pattern that whatever are there in our stars, in our basis, the astrology, that's what we are meant to do. And that's what we are doing as well. And the free will, which you mentioned about that the free will, if it's there, then only things shape up magically.
Yes.
And I'm sure all the audience out there, the mothers, even men's as well, even fathers, because it's a responsibility of both the parents for the development of their child, because the child is your future. That's going to take your generations forward. So if you're not taking mindfully these steps, which Shavasti ji mentioned, it's gonna impact your child's development, nothing else. Because everything is seeding, and if you understand this, just mention in the comments too. Shavasti ji, this leads to me to another question of mine because you have always mentioned that healing starts before conception. And
Mhm.
that's a powerful idea to hear for people who are listening, right? But it looks powerful by hearing, but is it actually true? Because I just live in a world wherein everything is actions, right? And I want to ask this question from my side too. Can you explain how a mother's emotional, mental, and energetic state influences the soul that's about to enter her womb?
Mm. Okay. So, have you noticed something? Let's once again keep astrology aside and let's
Yeah,
just talk practically. That when we start thinking about something with a lot of intention, the intention can be positive, can be negative.
true.
Yeah, it will happen. For example, I will get late today. Maybe you have thought about it with such deep intention that your car might break down on the road, or there might be some
Yeah,
obstruction on the road, there might be a road jam or whatever, which was otherwise not supposed to happen. It happened because you manifested it. You were so deeply thinking about it that you manifested it. So there is a law that it is easier to do the bad than the good. आप कुछ भी चीज बुरा सोचिए, it is so easy to think about something bad. I can't do it. I will fail. This is not for me. Whatever. I am destined. I'm not that lucky. It's a very common way of talking. We generally do that. And it's very easy for us to do that.
true.
How many of you really mean it when you say, I'm the best? I can do it. This is just for me. I'm going to top the class. I'm going to get this job. I'm going to get this role, whatever. How many? Now I'm bringing a little bit of astrology into it. This grit is a very fire element. So there are four elements
Yeah,
that we generally have in an astrological chart. What are the four elements? It is air, water, earth, and fire. Every Rashi every zodiac comes with its element. Okay. So I'm a Singh Rasi. Okay. I come with the fire element. Fine. Similarly, if I am somebody who is a Cancer zodiac, then I come with a lot of emotions, softness, watery Rashi. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about this free will that I told that time, similarly, when I'm talking about this of thinking that yes, I am good, is a very fiery element. It is something that is giving you light,
Yeah.
fire. Now, this just can't happen casually. This can only happen when your fire is balanced in your chart. For example, if you have, uh, for example, Mars and Sun are the fiery elements of your planets of your chart, right? So if your Mars is in a water sign, suppose Cancer, तो क्या हुआ? आग पानी में चला गया. क्या नहीं होगा? Grit. The person will miss grit. There is where you will have to work 5 times, 10 times more, put in effort for a free will, because you'll become a very emotional person. So when you're talking about working on your energies or whatever before even conceiving, firstly, you have to see what kind of life you have had till you were before you conceive. Till then, for example, you're conceiving at 25, 30. 30 is a good age for now. So till 30 years, what kind of a life have you had? Now, the person who has nurtured you, maybe a mother, if I am to focus on, what kind of life did she have? Now, her mother nurtured her for some many years, some decades. What kind of life had she had? This is all generational trauma. So,
Yeah.
if my mother's mother went through some massive trauma, it is obvious mother being the emotional person in the family will transmute the emotion to the next generation. Every family has these elements there. You will see whether it is emotion, whether it is means the water, fire. You will find these kind of things around you, especially when it comes to emotion. That is the moon strength, the strength of the moon. You will notice that that is why in a chart, in a natal chart, the fourth house, which is the home, is also the ruler is mom. That is, moon is actually the guardian or the owner of that house. Wherever the moon is, it is going to impact that house for sure. Getting you, because mother, I always talk in all my lectures, podcasts, anywhere. This is one thing I always talk about. That is mother. Mother is my focus. And the minute that emotion travels, it gets into the DNA of the next child. Then the child produces another child to that child, then to that child. When is it going to stop? The day one child is born with so much of fire that it is going to evaporate the emotional water and say, no, this emotion ends here. It is not for my baby. I might have had a traumatic past, but it has got nothing to do with my child. I want my child to be a strong woman, a strong man, to deal with crisis or problems in a very resilient manner and not get succumbed to it. There, the revolution starts. So this is a very practical viewpoint I'm giving you, very scientific viewpoint I'm giving you. Then you have something called the energy healing. We have an energy. Have you noticed when somebody walks into your house or somebody stays in your house, you will feel good, bad, ugly, something?
True.
Yeah. Some people
True.
you talk to, you feel very good. Wow, and I really like this person. Why? Energy. Similarly, you will have, I don't want to see this person at all. Oh, this person doesn't make me feel good. Energy. You get
Yeah.
into a house and, for example, you want to buy a house or rent a house. You get into the house and you just don't feel good about the energy. And you say, no, I don't want to buy this house. It's nice, it's beautiful, but something is off about it. I don't want to buy this house. Energy. You can't deny energy. We are energy. We are energy. Anything and everything that you see or not see is energy.
True.
So that energy healers, again, there are lakhs today, but rarely you will find a good energy healer, but you have one, you are blessed with it. Believe me. I generally do energy healing programs where I say, I am not here to heal you. You have to heal yourself. You have to learn all the tricks as to how to, upgrade your energy to a level where you vibrate in such a manner that the negativity does not stand around you.
Oh,
And there is where a lot of fire energy comes into picture, because fire burns away all negative energies and it produces light. And looking at the present pattern of the way the world is going, though there is a lot of talk about getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but you will hardly see youth capable of doing it. And that's the reason their energy levels, present generation energy levels, are very, very low. So when you are having a child, at that moment, there is every possibility that your energy levels are low. Because you must be working at that time. You must be doing late nights. You might be sleeping late. You might not be eating on time. Your energies, any which ways, is completely ruined at that time. So what are you bringing? You're bringing another soul into your body. You're bringing a big blob of energy into your belly. What are you even thinking? Is it an easy task? You think it is a biological product or production happening? No. You are the bearer of a soul which has come with some karmic debts and some agenda with you, good or bad. You need to get the platform ready, and you have a lot of work to do. Parents have a lot of work to do. That's the reason why they're also considered as gods walking on earth. When they become parents, then the whole element of their life changes. So I personally feel, work on your energies before you even think about getting or conceiving another energy into your body. Otherwise, both the energies are going to clash. Either it's going to be very bad, or it is going to be an experience without any, any learning. So it's a beautiful, beautiful element, that the element of motherhood. It's so beautiful. The whole journey from the time a mother starts thinking, I want to conceive, I want to have a baby, till that moment when she breathes her last. That connection can never be broken. That's the reason why we say that even after death, a mother will all be watching on you. She'll always be watching on you. She's God. Her element is such. So that's one message to my parents once again, that for a minute, just forget about you being a company manager on some, charter accountant or something. Forget about that. Forget you are a Marwari, Gujarati, Bengali, foreigner, British, whatever. Forget about that. Just think, you both are united to bring a soul onto earth, to nurture the soul so that the soul can finish his or her limit of karma that she or he is coming with. What a job you are doing. This is divine. So tell yourself, tell your body, tell your mind, tell your soul, prepare yourself. Because there is somebody coming on earth who will bow to you. Are you bow worthy? If not, get bow worthy before you even think about getting a baby on earth. It's absolutely okay not to have a child. If you want to have a child, it's a huge responsibility. It's a responsibility which is very cosmic.
Shravasti ji, it is magical to hear you saying all these things because I went through this. The elements which you talked about, it's part of my world now. And it's like I can totally resonate with all the emotions, all the energies which were there in each word because we are all energy beings, right? Before we speak anything, our energy speaks to the other person. And that's what you mentioned, how beautifully it was presented as well. And audience, mothers especially, your energies, how we can improve that. You are the best. That's what Shravastiji mentioned. You're the best out here who is creating more generations. So every parent, Shravasti ji, this leads to me another question of mine because it's like a magical thing for me, illuminating thing for me as well to hear all these things because I've been experiencing multiple things in my life, but it's all about knowing more about it, like how we can connect the dots. I would say like how to connect those dots. I'm able to see the picture, I'm able to see everything like an energy level, but it's like I'm not be able to figure out those dots, like how to name those dots. What are those dots? So if a parent listening today wants to begin raising a more emotionally intelligent and energetically aligned child, what are three simple daily practices you would recommend to them? Just simple three practices they like it,
To the
which is
child?
not overwhelming as well for them and they can incorporate in their daily lives.
You're saying to the child or to the, like, for the children?
Yes, if every parent, it's for the parent who are listening, if they want to begin their raising a more emotionally intelligent child, like energetically aligned child. We're talking about energies, right? Everything is energy. We are bringing life, if we have brought a life on this planet, planet earth. What are three simple daily practices which you would recommend to every parent out here who's listening?
I want to recommend them to the parents first.
Wow. It's all karma, it's all cycle.
Absolutely.
It's all cycle.
So, first thing is that what you want your child to do is something that you will have to do first. It's something that we don't notice so much. That first thought is that to make you need to bring up an emotionally intelligent child. In today's world of what do I call technology, data, AI, artificial world, to bring something which is very emotionally human is a big challenge. And we all are slaves of our mobile phones, of our computers. And in present generation, it is really difficult to not do without it. It is sorry, to do without it. We can't do without it. But how is it that we are going to deal with it when it comes to our children? Because if you notice, it's a very common thing nowadays to see a baby with a mobile phone in hand. Whichever child, you will see big. Recently, I was seeing, I'm not naming the star, her daughter filming her, a daughter posting, and the daughter, I don't know what, 2 years, not even 2 years, 1.5 years maybe, I don't know. And she's a big celebrity, and she's posting it. The other mothers are getting excited. Wow, even I want to make my daughter do that or my son to do that. So that's the first thing that I would advise is the brain of a child should not be designed by an artificially intelligent something, because the world is going to see a lot of robotic kids in the future, very, very soon. It has already started. For mothers who are listening, will notice there are many mothers who might face their child not emoting well. I get a lot of queries on this, that my child does not emote. Even if she's happy, cannot express. Sadness cannot express. Because they have not learnt it on the screen.
True.
And they are not seeing parents because they have born up working parents. They live in nuclear family. They don't know what family is. They don't see grandparents. They don't see all their relatives. Then there is no amicable relationship between parents and their relatives, and that is transmuted into the child. So the child also grows up with not knowing how to make good relationships. So this is all directed. So if I start with technology, then the first advice I would say is that find a way out not to bring technology or introduce technology to a child who is supposed to play in the grounds or who's supposed to spend time with you or work or study things which is more mentally mind activating. There are so many games very mind activating, which we used to do. Remember, in our school, we used to play with clay. We used to make cars and all those building. So you play with the child. Don't leave the child alone. The child doesn't want a governess. The child wants the mother or the father to play. So figure out that time for the child. Believe me, a time will come when the child will not have time for you.
So true.
So give time to your child, and I can promise you, the child will always have time for you. So to nurture a very emotionally intelligent human being, these are few things that need to be done. One, every parent knows. I don't have to tell this, but it shouldn't be that the parent is tired. Okay, phone pakda do, let the child play with the phone. No. Please figure it out, because know it before you even get the baby on earth, that this is going to happen, and you have to leave alone everything and be with the child, even if you are tired after work. So that has to be a mental preparation. At one time, a woman, especially because a nurturing quality is so well given to a woman, that even if you have the best father, he is going to miss that one place. So a mother is needed there to nurture the child. So if profession can take a back seat, it would be wonderful, because your baby itself is the biggest project on earth. Your child should be a child who is going to add to the values of the society. And your child needs to be a happy kid. So that is one thing that I would say, because I have always been an independent woman. I worked on all my life. So I exactly understand from where women come and why they really need to work. But if I have to choose between my child and work, anytime the child will come first. And that is one thing that we need to focus on. So these are few things. Then third thing is eating habit.
Yeah.
If a child does not have good eating habit and good sleeping habit, I am seeing nowadays, it's so common, parents bring their little babies to cinema hall. The cinema starts at 8 o'clock, finishes at 11. You go home at 12. Your child sleeps at 1, and it's okay. It's okay. No, it's not okay. we have some capacity of the brain. You can't keep the child awake so long. The child, during very young age, really needs to sleep a lot. Why? Sleep helps the child in physical growth, in mental growth. So the longer the child sleeps, the better at this age. Then once again, when we will talk about teenage sometime, then I will tell you that the whole body clock changes at time because extreme level of hormone is released. So the hormone release will also keep the child so active. There is every possibility that the child will sleep less at night, and then it'll take a lot of time for the child to go to sleep. But this age, with a younger age, till about 10 years, child should really sleep well, eat well. Nutritious food, a whole program on nutrition of a child. You should bring, conduct so the parents know about it. Why? Because I can understand in today's rush world, there are many things that the parents miss. But if there is a guidance given to them, they find value in it and they start working towards it. So that is one thing that we need to see. Don't just because your child asks for it, don't give a chips packet. Read behind the chip. You are an educated mother. Read what is written, what is there inside the packet is written there with all the chemicals written there. Do you really want your child to have a chemical packet? If not, don't give it. Every baby I find with a hand of Coca-Cola, do you know what is there in Coca-Cola? So these are things that I feel if you don't really feel for it, it's very difficult. You can't have Coca-Cola in front of your child is seeing it. You can't drink in front of your child is seeing it. You can't smoke in front of your child is learning it. Okay, so this is okay. This Papa does, I can do it. Mom does, I can do it. So if you want the child to be good, once again going back to that it is all starts with the parents. So that is one thing that we need to. So give a lot of time to your child. Take away technology from the child. See that your child sleeps on times and gets up on time and eats a nutritious meal. And the fifth thing, which is very important, for that, if need be, hire a coach. That is important. I don't know if I'm indirectly mentioning me, but no, anybody who is a coach. Your child needs to be introduced to all possible ways of aligning itself to its own spiritual being. That is, from a very small age, if the child is a mindfulness practitioner, from a very tiny age, the child learns meditation. The child understands what are chakras. Child understands what is happening inside the body when food goes in. You know, what happens when the person thinks positive, what happens when the person thinks negative. You know, how I need to stretch my body so that my body feels more energetic. You know, pranayama, everything. I would personally say, we are Indians, this is our culture. Please bring this back to every child. Your child, again, is a precious, precious project. It is no less than a Kohinoor in your family to you. So bring the best to her, bring the best to him, so that they learn to bring the best to the next generation. है ना? What we say? When we were young, our mother did this, our father. So we will do that. So I'm telling the same thing to you. Don't say that, oh, my child does not listen to me. Oh, there are many ways to make your child listen to you. You'll have to find ways. Make a very beautiful relation, a beautiful connection between mother and child, father and child. A nice family, a strong family is all that you need. You really don't need to worry about focusing on one part of a child. The question that you had asked. There is no one part that you can focus on a child and say, okay, this needs to be taken care of. No, everything needs to be taken care of. When the child walks into the room, She should or he should feel seen. The mother, even if the mother is tired, sit with the child. What did you do in school? What did you do the whole day? And the child might be blabbering. Listen. Listen to the blabber. Might be very stupid blabbering, but listen. The more you listen to your child, the more you learn, the more the child starts confiding in you. Listen without judgment. If she has done something wrong, for example, I'll tell you a very common thing that as parents we tend to do. That is, suppose a child did something wrong, maybe broke a plate, a very expensive plate or something broke. At that moment, what is the behavior of the mother and the father is very, very important. It can make or break the child's, way of looking at things. So right at that moment, it is broken. The milk has been spilled. You can't bring it back into the bottle. You will have to accept as an adult something not so good has happened and I have to accept it first. Okay. Let go of the child at that moment and say, okay, let me clean it first. Don't hurt yourself. Ulta, behave just opposite than what she was expecting. Okay, you'll hurt yourself. Go. Don't come near. You'll hurt yourself. Did you hurt yourself? That's the first thing. Later on, when the child is in a very good mood or is not, that moment she is a complete panic. But when the child is calmed down and thing is fine, then talk to the child with a lot of love. That was an expensive thing. It broke. You didn't see it properly. You didn't give attention to it. Just imagine it is in our house. Tomorrow, if that would have happened in auntie's house, what would have happened? It would be so bad. We would feel so bad. They would feel so bad. And so on and so forth. Give examples, little examples. The child will understand what you shouldn't be doing next time. And the next time the child is holding a plate, you just say, little careful, baby, you might fall. Be careful. You'll have an idea why, because it's fallen once. But if it has not fallen and the child is holding a plate, it will fall, you'll break it. Oh, no. Don't do that. It doesn't work that way. Child will always know, okay, I'm holding something, I'm going to break it. Build in a lot of self-confidence in the child and don't have to worry tomorrow. When the child comes back or is out of home late at night, you don't have to worry. You only have to worry till teenage. As soon as puberty knocks in, forget it. You can't change anything after that. After that, the ball is in their court. So this first year, still puberty. You should be on your heels, always active, ready to groom your child. So mentally prepare when you are conceiving that the coming decade or so, I have to dedicate myself completely on the upbringing of a healthy, happy soul.
Wow, Shravasti ji, I like the way you explain everything. It's like getting aligned with the energies of me being a parent as well, me being a father as well, and how things shape up in a child's development. That you need to give your dedicated time, you need to remove the technology from their life. We cannot remove technology overall, but it's like you need to dedicate some time there. You can bifurcate some time. And eating habits, sleeping habits, all these things, actually your child is your energy only, which has been
Avinash, I want
which,
to add something.
yeah, please.
When we were young, uh, if you would remember, I'm sure we were the lucky generation till our
Yeah,
generation,
yeah,
that when we used to sleep, our grandparents or even our mom used to read out from storybooks. Yeah, Purana, long day, old storybooks, and fairy tales, and I don't know what not, and folklores, and We used to imagine things and we used to be so excited that, okay, this is going to happen. And then we used to fall off to sleep. This is a very beautiful way of connecting with the child. Even today, at this age, I still remember at least a few of the stories which my mom or my grandparent told me when I was in bed trying to sleep. That is the strength of memory and impact of that small act. And once again, children start getting interested and become very creative. They want to read a book. Libraries are vanishing.
Yeah.
Don't give your child a Kindle. The child must touch a book, read stories, be excited about creating. Every child must learn something, one hobby, which the child enjoys creating. Whether even if you are, planting a seed and, growing a plant, that plant bearing a fruit or a flower, it is a huge joy that it brings. So this is something that we need to look into to add in addition to all that I have told you.
Shravasti ji, how beautifully you described it. It's like your child is your energy. The thing which I was mentioning, that your child is your energy only, and if you want to see your energy, you need to reflect that to your child.
Correct.
So I would just summarize it just in that way, because you've already explained the science behind the spiritual side, the emotional side of everything, how we can have an emotionally and energetically aligned child. But it's all about connecting the dots, the connecting with your energy to theirs, like not to reflect before, reflect, pause, take a pause before reacting in front of your child, because it's going to seed in their mind. And you have described it beautifully, Shavastiji. And this is such a sacred insight which you have given to all of us out here. And I can already imagine so many parents taking notes there. Mention in the comments as well. Now let's shift gears, Shavastiji, and get to know you on a more personal and fun note about your life, basically, because it's all about trusting your journey, how people can trust their journeys basis your journey. So our rapid fire round, this is the section 2 of our podcast.
Okay.
Shavastiji, are you ready for the rapid fire round?
Okay. Fine. Tell me.
All right. My first question to you, Shavastiji, one word that defines conscious parenting.
Unconditional love.
Wow. Parents' unconditional love, that is what is parenting is all about. Think about your parents. That's what Shavastiji mentioned. Second question, Shavastiji, your go-to energy reset ritual.
Please come again.
Your go-to energy reset ritual. Like, what do you do? What's your ritual? How you are energetically aligned?
Okay. So I'm a very spiritual person, you can say. So my go-to ritual is always that I take a salt bath in the morning. And after doing the salt bath, I sit in meditation.
That's the way,
Yeah.
I would say, for all the living beings out here, because that's what we need to do for aligning our energies. Thank you so much, Savashtiji. Third question, morning mantra you live by, which you already mentioned, I would say. But
No,
still, I would want to know.
morning mantra, good question, but it's like a rapid fire, but it's not a one-word answer. So I'll
Yeah.
it for it. So first thing first is that I have to get up early in the morning. If I get up late in the morning, then my day is completely bad. I don't know, something happens. So getting up, I come around between 4:30, 4:45, I'm up. And after that, I have some stotras, which I listen for about an hour. After that, I will have there is a energized glass of water that I drink. And after that, I go for my bath. I come back and on 1 hour is for my prayers. That is, I have my mandir and I do my chants, my meditation, my prayers. And That's it. Then I am all in.
So this is the way to align your energies to audience. Next question, Shravasti ji. Astrology or psychology, your first love? Because you're in both the fields, I would say.
Psychology.
Because everything is emotion, audience, and astrology shapes up those emotions. You can take help from astrology.
Astrology is cosmic. It is
Yeah,
Parashastra.
yeah,
To reach there, I will have to take many more births.
yeah.
To understand the realm of it, to understand where it's coming from. But when it comes to um, psychology, there is nothing beyond psychology. There is no science that can exist without psychology.
Oh,
So whether you're eating, you will have psychology. Whether you're sleeping, you'll have psychology. Whether you're meeting a friends, making relations, you will need psychology. Whether you are being divine, you will need psychology. Whether you're dancing in a pub, you will need psychology. Without that, anything is psyche. So if you are learning, something to do with cosmic energy, I am sure there is some psychology behind it. Otherwise, why are you even learning it?
true.
So it's psychology anytime. I always tell my youth whom I am coaching that one subject must be psychology in your life. You must read psychology. Life becomes much easier.
I'm sure it's all about psychology because everything is written in psychology, which has already been experienced from our so many ages, right? So many human beings have already passed. And this is what psychology teaches us emotions. One book that shaped your spiritual journey, Shravasti ji.
Bhagavad Gita.
Wow. Guys, I would recommend that, though I have not read it, but still I would still I'm on that path of reading so many scriptures out there, but still do read that. And if you're reading that, do mention in the comments too.
I want
Yeah.
to add to it also that I am yet to read the Quran, but one day I will. I am having so many books to read that I don't know, I'm not being able to reach such a heavy, book to touch. But as much I have understood, I have read the Bhagavad Gita, I've read the Purans, I have read the Bible, I've read a good bit of the Vedas in snippets. All I find is that in a nutshell, you will find everything in Bhagavad Gita.
Wow.
For those who are not born as Sanatanis or Hindus, I would say read it for the sake of understanding what is in it, and you will understand that it is as there are many people who say Gita is very difficult. Yes, to some extent, at some stages it is, but majority of it is. It's a guidebook for life. If you can take it inside of you, of course, it is better if you have a coach. Then I don't think so. Life will be that challenging as we think.
Yeah, that is so true. एंड गीता में बस एक ही चीज सिखाई गई है, कर्म करो फल की इच्छा मत करो. सो डू योर डीड्स एंड डोंट एक्सपेक्ट द फ्रूट्स. इट्स part of the seeding which you need to do. Next question, Shravasti ji. Meditation or movement? I know silly question from you, but I would still ask this question. Meditation or movement? What would you prefer?
This is a very, very difficult answer. Why? Because psyche and soma
Yeah.
both are equally important. So for
It's
psyche, you need meditation. For soma, you need physical activity. You can't just say, I'm going to meditate and not do physical activity.
it's like Rahu and Ketu.
Don't need both. Can't do without any.
That's so true. So we need both. The most powerful parenting advice you have ever received. Like you must have also learned these things. You must have also experienced these things from your life, right? So what is the most powerful parenting advice you have ever received or you learned in your life?
I have just shared that with you. You must have time for your children.
Yeah. So make time, audience. That's the only way to connect with the energies which are the children of your energies only. Next question, Shravasti ji. What emotion do you think parents suppress the most?
They don't suppress emotion. They don't know when it is appropriate to share. So many a times, fathers, I will bring the fathers here. Mothers are very emotional. They'll go and tell everything. I have seen children become very close to their mothers at one time because they share. But fathers, they don't share because they don't know whether it is appropriate, because the society has given a label to the fathers that my father strongest. Father का कोई emotion नहीं हो सकता. Father can't be weak, a father can't be sad, a father can't be worried, and just like a strength pillar, he will stand. He's suppressing his emotions in every area. So I don't know how to teach a father to emote, but I would say that believe me or not, if you have once again, this is a activity which I insist that parents do for children who have grown up a little to understand what is happening in the house, is a weekly meeting. And parent and children or child sits together. They can have food, they can play carom or anything. And during that time, the whole week, who's gone through what, good or bad, is shared with each other. And the child somewhere, for example, if it is something very adult, then mellow it down, but still share it. For example, a father has lost a job, or a father has some other problems coming up. Maybe some friend has done something wrong to him. Then he has to find a way to emote to the child that the father is not feeling good, so that the child connects to the father. So I will tell you, my father and we as children, we lived apart because my father was a tea planter, and he had to stay in the tea garden in the hills. While we grew up, we had to go to school in different schools. So I was put into hostel. I didn't keep well, so I was brought back, and then we were put into different schools. And my mother had to stay in a small town. So whenever my father used to come, that one day in a week, would just try to make some time for ma, some time for my brother. But I was growing up at that time. I was a teenager. So I could not communicate with my father much. Eventually, I never knew how he felt, what was good happening in his life, what made him happy, what made him sad, whom he loved very much. I don't know. Then my grandfather died. I don't know how he felt. My grandmother died. I don't know how he felt. And then, just about a few years back, my mom expired. And that's when we started talking. Myself and father started talking. And I realized that there is so much I know nothing about him. And he knows nothing about me. And there has been such a vast gap. To fill that up, it is going to take, I don't know whether this life is enough. And that is one thing that I really regret, that I wish in my young age, we were brought together more. We spent more time together. Because at the end, one partner will pass. Suppose the mother passes and the father stays back. And suppose he does have one daughter. How is he going to deal with the daughter or talk to the daughter about the pain, about whatever he is going through, if he has never spoken about it in his past, if he has never had a relationship? So having a relationship with the children are something that fathers need to look into, and to some extent emote. I'm not saying cry or, go and, crib in front of them or anything. No, that is something a father can't do. But at least talk to them. That is very important.
And why this is only for father, just because of one single fact, because mothers are already emotionally connected to their child. It's the father who needs to work on that, right?
There is this yin and yang energy.
Yeah,
Women, women, they are people that are considered emotionally strong. They have the moon energy. They're born with it. So they know how to deal with theirs. They know how to deal with somebody else's.
true.
So that's the reason. Sorry, I'm a woman talking a lot about woman jhanda leke, but I'll be very frank that the type of Shakti that we have, the energy that a woman carries, if you will ever learn energy healing or even understand, you will understand what kind of strong energy a woman carries. And men, they are born for a world responsibility. The word responsibility and men go hand in hand. I'm not saying women are not irresponsible. They are themselves embodiment of any problem solving. You give any problem to a woman, she will
Yeah,
cry, she will shout, she will fight, she will do dunya bhar ka drama, but she'll solve the problem.
that is so true. So true.
But when it comes to a man, his responsibility is something. So you will notice, as soon as a child is born, इंडिया में क्या बोलता है? What do they say? तुम्हें जिम्मेदारी लेनी पड़ेगी. You have to take responsibility of your parents.
अब आप रिस्पॉन्सिबल बन गए हो.
आप responsible बन गए. आप ऐसे कैसे कर? How can you do this? You are the man of
हाँ,
the house. So the pressure, extreme level of pressure. But if you just tap into a man's heart, you will know that it is just like that coconut. From outside, all the strength and the muscles and everything. And from inside, they are extremely soft,
हाँ,
tender. And that's where Shakti comes into picture. That if I am there, then you are standing. If I'm not there, ना शिव शब है जब तक शक्ति नहीं है.
हाँ.
So otherwise, you are you are in a different world. So that is that. So I don't know what concept has come, what made the world derive that women are the softer version of humanity. And it's just the opposite.
I know this is not going as the rapid, but this is going as per the energies, I would say.
Yes.
Because parents who are listening right now, fathers especially who are listening right now, who are looking at us right now, please understand, expressing your emotions doesn't make you weak, it makes you strong. So please start expressing your emotions. That's what Shravastiji mentioned. One sign a home has positive energy, Shravastiji. Tell me
Laugh,
one sign. Laugh?
laughter,
Wow.
joint
Wow.
laughter. And one more thing, if everybody eats together.
And there can be multiple things, but it's all about finding happiness in everything you're doing in your life. Thank you so much, Saraswati. Next question of this rapid fire round. If emotions were colors, which color describes joy for you?
Yellow, sunshine.
So Shavasti ji is all ignited with the sunshine energy as well. She is an aligned soul already. Shavasti ji, next question. A quote that keeps you centered on tough days. I'm sure you also must be going through your tough days many a times. It doesn't matter whether we are energetically aligned or not. It's a daily practice, and daily we'll be getting some more the other struggles in our life. So I just want to ask you, which quote inspires you the most on those days?
Karmanya vyadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You
Oh.
just do your work. Just do your work. The minute you start thinking about the result, you are worried.
And
I
that,
I am tired of being worried. I can't keep worrying about everything because every minute there is a worry. If you remember when we were like when you said that you will be shooting a podcast with me, I said, listen, I'm going to do it extempore. I can't go preparing because I can't worry. It is going to be good. It's going to be bad to the extent that extempore or whatever that I'm doing at this moment is going online. I have perspectives to hear. There will be people who will come with positive perspective. There will be people coming with negative perspective. I'm grateful to get all the perspective
True.
because I'm not waiting for any result. I
Wow.
have had a very, very interesting, extremely roller coaster life. If someday I'm, you know, ready enough to write a book on myself, I want you to read it, but you will know. And I feel, and I'm sending this message to everybody. Do your work and do it through your consciousness that my conscience tells me, yes, this is right. I should do it. Please go ahead, do it. Conscious says, don't do it. Please don't do it. Because here sits your God. In no temple is he. So he is talking to you every single minute, telling you yes or telling you no. So listen.
The statement or the quote which you said, it's कर्मण्यवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. कर्म
Yes.
करते रहो, फल की इच्छा मत करो. And that's what Shravasti ji mentioned earlier as well. Gita, right? पढ़ो गीता and आगे बढ़ो. Shravasti ji, last question of this rapid fire round. One thing which every child teaches us. I'm sure there are many things, there are multiple thousand millions of things, but I just want to know one thing.
Faith.
That is so true. And what I believe, Sarojit ji, this teaches us emotions, and emotions have faith. So thank you so much, Shravasti ji, for such soulful answers and connecting with your natural vibe which you have got. And I can feel the warmth behind every word which you have spoken. Now let's go deeper into your story, the experiences that shaped your purpose. Welcome to the section three. So this is section three of the podcast where we are diving deep into your journey and how the person which I'm looking at you right now, how you became this person, right? So, first question of this section, Shravasti ji, you have spent years understanding energy, emotions, and the unseen layers of life. Was there a personal turning point that awakened your purpose to help parents and children specifically?
Yeah, actually. So, as I told you, I had a roller coaster life. So, you can understand that what it would have been for me to live a life where I got my responsibilities even before I came out of my frock. You know, बच्चे फ्रॉक से सलवार कुर्ता पैंट शर्ट में जाने में वक्त लगता है ना, थोड़ा टाइम लगता है. So I will just share a few examples of this.
Please.
So we had to move to a different city and start our life when Papa had been transferred to a tea garden in the remote. Ma was very young. She got married very young. I was born very young, and I had a little brother, and I had my aging grandmother with me. So Papa came and told me, forget about yourself being a woman. You are my son. Henceforth, you are going to take responsibility and act like my son. So when I was what? In my sixth standard, I was trained by my dad to do every chore of work that was needed, whether it is going to the market, whether it was going to the bank to withdraw money. Yeah. My signature also was not ready at that time, but I used to somehow sign my name and go because mom was alone handling home I was a little girl. So I never got the chance to go to play somewhere. And slowly, I grew up, and I grew up with a lot of responsibilities. My brother and myself, we have a difference of almost 8 years. So he was very little at that time. At this moment, I am a proud elder sister of a scientist. But
Wow.
when he was little, it was not possible for him to help me out. But my mother single-handedly, I don't know, I don't have words of praises for the strength she has had to deal with two kids and a mother who was aging and stay alone in a city or sort of small town, you can say, and deal with every hassle alone, because at that time there was no technology. And even if you have to call my dad, it is not always possible to get line through because he was almost in a jungle. So any crisis, we were on our own. Papa would only come on Sunday and go back on Monday. So that's the kind of life I had. And I realized that as a child, the way I should have been brought up, my mom didn't get the scope. My parents didn't get the scope to get us through that way. Similarly, when it comes to my brother, maybe even he would have some regrets when it comes to he wanted to play, he wanted to do other things which he loved doing. But mother couldn't take so many hassles at a go. So she said, no, just studies. And he did that brilliantly. And he made good of what he had done and what my mother had put in. But yes, looking at this, when I see, then I know what kids miss out in their childhood. They miss out many things if both the parents are not there. Then, if sometimes parents aren't available, or maybe any other, whether it's financial crisis, whether it is some emotional chaos, whether it is living your life with a sick parent, or maybe a mentally disturbed family member. So I've seen all of them. I've seen each and everything. And a child has to go through a lot. Why? Because it does not even know the human way of emoting what it is actually feeling. So just imagine in that chaos, if a girl is entering her puberty, how is she going to deal, or how is she going to express what kind of hormonal upheaval is happening in the body and how she should be reacting? My mother was very sick. She had some a series of operations in her body. And in that condition, she used to stand early in the morning, cooking breakfast for us, packing our tiffins to school, everything, taking us to the doctor when we were sick, taking us to the tuitions when we needed to go to a tuition. Oh, she has done enough. So just like a single parent, you can say. And it is difficult. And that's how maybe I have become very, very empathetic towards towards children. And one more thing is that I myself have lost two kids. I could not give birth to children. And I had that huge vacuum inside of me. And that is a vacuum I think I'm going to die with, because that is. But then, yes, I am grateful. God has blessed me with so many. I remember my mom used to, console me when telling me is that Ramakrishna Dev, Paramhans, and Sharadama of Bengal, they were famous sages. So Sharadama once went and told Ramakrishna Dev that you have never touched me. I will never have a child. You have taken up sainthood, celibacy. Then he blessed her because he was a saint. He blessed her and he said, that you you will be tired of the word ma one day. You will have so many people who will come to you as your child. And today she is considered as ma. And she is the omnipresent mother in everybody's life, in Bengal especially. And we consider her to be Ma Kali herself. Ma herself. So, Ma always used to say that if you don't have one child, then you have the scope of being a mother to every child. If you had one child, then you would have been the mother to that one child.
Beautiful.
So that is one thing why I have become so very attached, or I wouldn't say attached, but concerned. And my heart really goes out for children in whichever strata of the society. I would not say, okay, a less privileged child. No. Even if it was the who's who and that person had a child, my heart would completely go out for that child. There has been a lot of celebrity cases where their children have been in trouble. It was very, very disturbing for me. Very disturbing. And I feel that these little celebrity kids, if you would see how the paparazzis go behind them, clicking their photos, this is so unnerving and disturbing. So even when it goes to the higher strata also, there is a problem. So yeah, that's why I am in this profession maybe.
I'm sure, Shravasti ji, the journey which you have been, this is the reason why we are seeing Shravasti, which is energetically aligned today, and the losses which you have went through, these cannot be understood. And there are so many mothers out there who have went through the same losses. There's so many people who are out there who have went through the same journey which you have been onto, and this is the reason this transforms you, and your pain you have transformed into your purpose, and you're serving to the society, and that's the beauty of your journey. Shastri ji, many parents, though we have discussed these things in the uh, earlier part of the podcast, but I want to know at a deeper level, because many parents unknowingly pass on emotional patterns from their own upbringing. How can today's generation of parents break these cycles and raise emotionally free children?
First thing is that do they recognize that they're having a pattern? Because if they don't recognize, they'll never be able to come out of it. For example, if I am recognizing that uh, I have a pattern in my family of not being able to acknowledge myself, maybe just an example. Then, if I give birth to a child who is somebody who wants to be acknowledged, and if as a mother I stop that in the child and say, no, this is the way of life, you will have to sacrifice, you can't be the first one eating, you should see that everybody has eaten, only then you should go and eat, then maybe I am not aware that I am in a cycle, or I am having a pattern which is not right. No, I don't think so. Then it is not possible. But if you know that, yes, I've done this all my life, my grandmother has done that all her life, my mom has done that all her life, I'll not let my child do it. That recognition has to come, that yes. And then you stop doing. Whether you are still doing it, maybe you are the last person eating, but you say, better, whenever you are hungry, please eat. You need to be full stomach before you feed somebody else. In a hungry stomach, you cannot feed hungry people. So, as simple as that.
And that's how every parent can break that generational cycle, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone has to break that. And it's not about breaking, it's about reconnecting, I would say, which was lost in between because
Correct.
of the because of the knowledge, wisdom which we got lost, right? Like lot many people ruled on India.
Correct,
So
absolutely.
this is the reason why we haven't been connected that much completely with our own ancient wisdom, which you already mentioned earlier.
I will bring one more point into this.
Please,
Uh,
please.
we talk about patriarchy quite
Yeah,
a lot, but patriarchy did not happen overnight.
true.
Today, when I see this Indian cricket team girls with such massive victory, I don't have words. The overwhelm was so much that I was just thinking, what if we could go back to that time, that era when women were given, not given, they
Yeah,
were the epitome of power. If we could go back to that time, बीच में क्या हुआ? बीच में invasions, बीच में so many different people came, ruled us, and we started realizing that that men can dominate. And not only men, I want to be very precise, not only men. It is not men who are dominating. It is an idea that is dominating.
true.
For example, there are so many places where Brahmins have been dominating. Casteism came in. You should read the Gita once again to understand whether there is at all any caste or what caste is. What does it mean? We have zero idea. And we think anybody who is cleaning a drain is not at par somebody who is an educated person. No. If an educated person is going and earning salary, and if the drain cleaner is going and salary, both are Shudras. Read to understand what the subject is. Anybody who is in service is called a Shudra. Shudra is not a bad word,
True.
but then people brought that because of zero education, no education. And the way the British have changed our mindset. Oh, wow. That was the last nail in the coffin. So today we are really trying hard to unlearn. Maybe down the line in another century, maybe not. There's a possibility that we might change. But yes, we have to look into our own culture, read history. Read history. People don't read history. Nobody takes up archaeology these days. Nobody, nobody takes up agriculture these days. Nobody wants to get into the root, into the soil. So that's a very sad part. They are all enjoying the artificial world so much.
And how beautifully you put it through, because if anybody wants to raise an emotionally free children, they have to break that generational cycle, and that can only happen in this present moment. Yeah,
Correct.
you need to decide and accept the way you are, and that's how you beautifully described it, Shavastiji. It's all about setting the intentions. My last question from you, Shavastiji. Finally, if a if a parent or even a child is listening to us right now, who feels overwhelmed in their respective journeys, because everybody is going through a journey of their respective phases of their lives. And if they're feeling overwhelmed, confused, or disconnected from each other, child is getting disconnected from the parent is disconnected from the child. What's that one message from your heart you would want to share with them right now? Because everything is connection.
So if any parent has the patience of going through the full podcast, because we've spoken a lot, but I feel that they will get mostly all the answers.
Yeah,
See, I'll tell you something. We are all dealing with some difficult time. Everybody, whether you are a child, whether you are a parent, anybody. The thing is that we have to look into the bigger picture. The bigger picture, if there is no clarity, then we will be that self-centered child or the self-centered parent who does not want to deal with the bigger picture. So sometimes I do suggest that it is good if you can go for relationship counseling between parent and child. That's a nice thing to do. And I personally work around ACT, that is acceptance and commitment therapy. It is very close to CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, very close to that. But I prefer doing the ACT. And that works wonderfully and can really match the energies back and get them together. The only problem is that India has never publicized mental health. They feel that just like astrology is a hoax, mental health is a hoax. वो देव मैंने कितना वैसे रील देखा हुआ है, कुछ मेरे को प्रॉब्लम है, 2 चाटा मारेंगे ठीक हो जाएगा. वैसे 2 चाटा मार मार के ही हमारे साथ दिमाग खराब हो गया है. If every time, because the Britishers have said, spare the rod and spoil the child, corporal punishment in our times was the only medicine. You're not going by the order, do thappad. So I feel that you should start taking this just like you all do regular medical tests. We do, no? Regular medical tests. Sometimes we go to a doctor and get our full body checked. वैसे ही invest on a good psychologist, a counselor, and figure out whether there is something that needs to be dealt with. Because there are many stages of it. I'm a counselor. Yeah. Then there are psychologists and there are psychiatrists. So my world is different. We work around talk therapy mostly, and that works good if you're not having major mental health issues. But if like a counselor can say, they can diagnose whether you have a mental health issue or not. If you have a mental health issue, then you will be sent to stipulated doctors who can take care of the thing through medicine or treatments. But that is one thing, because it is not nice to, stay away from child for a very long period. And one more thing is that during teenage, if my parents are listening, during teenage, you have to accept this thing that there will be a lot of behavioral changes in your child. Some you can meet midway, some you will have to accept. The ones you can meet midway, that can only happen through subtle behavioral changes. But if you are like overtly, loving to your child all of a sudden, overtly interested in your child all of a sudden, then your child will completely shut door in front of you. So believe me, a child at whatever age is as smart as you are. So don't try to fake in front of a child. Don't try to be, don't try to baby them. Rather talk to them at par your energies as an adult. They will appreciate that more. They don't like to be treated like kids. So once that happens, more or less things are sorted. I would still again insist that wherever you are, if you can get a reference of a good psychologist or counselor, and if you think that there is some issue which you really want to settle, then at least you can take one advice. That advice may work.
And you have beautifully described this, because everybody thinks that mental health is a taboo in the society. That if somebody is going through some trauma, some healing requirements, they think that it's a taboo, that these things are not to be told in public, these are not to be shared publicly. But the more you share it publicly, the more ignited the society would be, I would say.
Correct.
And if there's anything which Shravasti ji which mentioned to all the parents who are listening to us right now, understand this thing that you and your child, and if I talk about me as well, right? When I was listening to Shravasti ji, I was connecting to my inner child who remembers everything, whatever was happening in front of him. So it's all about every child. Every child is it's seeing you. They're seeing you because you are the only one who is there in front of them. So thank you so much, Shravasti ji, for such deep insights and for these illuminating conversations, I would say, because you have not only explained the science of emotions, but also reminded us of the spirituality of parenting. To every parent listening, remember, a child doesn't just inherit your genes, they inherit your energy, your emotions, and your presence. Healing yourself is the first step towards healing your child. Follow Shravasti Sanyal on LinkedIn or connect with her programs to learn more about emotional intelligence and astro healing and cosmic parenting. Until next time, Shravasti ji, I would want to know from you as well the last words from your side, how people can reach out to you, what exactly you have to offer to them. If any parent wants to reach out to you, if any child wants to reach out to you for any natal charts which you mentioned, the teenage age which you mentioned. So how can people can benefit from all these things? Just to summarize it, and how can people reach out to you?
You can share my phone number and they can
Okay.
connect with me
Wow.
because I am still I, when you are only working with energies, you try to stay away from the technology as much as possible. So we email karna and social media, I'm bad. I have people behind me continuously. Shravasti, you need to post something. You need to talk to people. Maybe I will start that later. But yes, you all may feel free to connect with me, talk to me, take an appointment, and I'll always be there. I'll be happy to help.
Thank you so much, Shravasti ji, for such deep insights which you have given to us. And it's a blessing for me to record this podcast with you because an energy healer like you, it's very difficult to find in the society. And because the media is full of the showcase world, right? But energies like you also needs to come out into society. And this is the reason why I wanted to record this podcast with you.
Thank you.
So until next time, audience, nurture your energy, honor your emotions, and always, always, always trust your journey. I'll share the contact details of Shravasti ji in the description below.